All right, check 1, 2. Let's see if it does it. Are you done there?
Yeah, I'm just checking to see if it's doesn't it.
Yeah. I'm Bishop Freeman,
And I'm Starby66.
and we may say this a few times over the next few minutes.
That's okay. It's good practice.
Yes, agreed. All right, so it says that it's streaming.
Well, if it says it, it must be true.
It's a FreeStar on-air live stream. It says it's doing it.
It says it's doing it.
Yeah, it says it's doing it.
I'm only getting the blue picture.
No sound?
I don't know about sound, honestly.
Yeah, so I have it just on a static image right now.
Oh, well, isn't that special?
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Indeedy, indeedy.
See if I can find the link.
I just shared the link to the FreeStar YouTube page and clicked on over to live.
Well, let's see if that works. Yeah, it's working.
Huzzah. Well, fancy schmancy and only 20 minutes late.
All right. All right, so I will pause this here. All right, so buttons on your shoe. It is working.
Yay. So we got a hotline you can call in to if y'all choose to.
I don't know if anybody's listening right now, but I'm going to send out some links. So,
Great.
yeah.
The phone number is 971-301-5325.
Very nice. I'm Bishop Freeman.
And I'm Starby66.
And we are
FreeStar on air.
on air.
On
yes.
YouTube.
Yes.
Today.
So, I think I have achieved the goal. It's done.
You got it all figured out there, love.
I do, and there's no live video, but I can turn it on and off as needed, so it doesn't have to be on all the time.
But you could turn it on because our little dining room here is pretty nifty room.
So give me a minute. Let me get everything set up, and then we'll do that.
Okay.
I need to send a few emails out real quick, get a little feedback, and see if make sure it's working all right. Because it's working for me. I just want it to work for everybody else.
I had it in my headphones.
And it was working for you.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right. I'm going to send you a little link here. So this is just a test run. If this works, then this will work. And hopefully we can get this streaming over to Wayne at KOUV.
And then he can put it up?
Yeah. So I'm going to send some links out now. Would you like the link, love?
I mean, you could send it to me, sure. Although I shared a different one.
Yeah, well, if they have access just to the page, it's going to show up. It should, but I want to send direct links to the actual. All right, let me know if you get it.
4 people are watching.
Oh, there are. Is anybody chatting?
I don't know. I don't see any chats.
Okay,
Well.
well.
Think of the more there.
All right, well, we will conquer this.
Yeah, we will.
There's no doubt. We're going to get it taken care of. We didn't really watch any movies this week. It's been so busy.
It really is.
So much stuff.
So much stuff.
Yeah. So I guess I'll check the camera. We're not going to stay on the camera. I'm only going to turn that on every once in a while, but we're going to check that now, and we're going to see if that actually is working. Boom. There we go. Hello. Maybe you see us, maybe you don't. I don't know. We're going to pop one over and check out real quick.
I'm not on the page anymore because I was trying to do something else. Oopsie.
It happens. What are you going to do? All right. I am also not on the page anymore. But it seems to be working, which is good. All right. Oh, yeah, I turned it off. Well, hopefully the video switch worked. And I don't see a chat either.
Weird.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to send a link right quick.
Do it. Send that link.
So, like I was saying, we didn't see any movies this week. It's been busy. Had a lot of Masonic stuff to do. And we've been working on the house and stuff like that.
I watched half of a Twacky movie.
Well, what did you watch? I mean, we did actually watch some TV, though.
I watched Onyx, The Fortuitous, and The Talisman of Souls on Amazon Prime.
And
because it got 5-star rating. So I thought, well, this looks terrible, and it got 5 stars. I'm in.
I popped on over and put the video up so that way we can. Oh yeah, there it is. It's working. Hello.
You got video? I got video.
There's
Yay.
video. So the video does work. We do have it on a static image
It's
while we
frozen.
work on
There
stuff.
it goes.
So because it's weird trying to see myself on here live and get it fixed. So we're leaving it on a static image for a minute, but we will be back. So just wanted to see that it worked. All right.
Thank you for joining us in our YouTube journey.
In our YouTube journey, yes. Hey, but once we get it figured out, I'll be an expert in this very small section of it.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So tell us about your movie while I do a little bit of this here.
Oh, it was.
No, let's hear all about it.
Well, I only watched half of it because I got called away from my viewing.
And
so far, it's fantastically terrible. It's about this kid. Well, he's a guy, really, but still lives at home and just has a downright terrible kind of existence and wishes for a better existence. And he's been in contact with this guy that promises eternal life. And so he gets called to do a ceremony.
Oh.
It's terrible. It's right up there with, what was the Ron Burgundy and Mindhorn. It was a Mindhorn quality.
Ron Burgundy. So explain Ron Burgundy.
I remember we were like, if Ron Burgundy's dad was a detective, he would have been Mindhorn.
Oh,
do you remember that movie
yes.
we put on because we thought it was going to be
terrible?
terrible?
I remember Mindhorn, yes. I
If you haven't seen Mindhorn, watch Mindhorn. Yeah. Where did we find that gem at?
It just came out. It was like on Netflix or something late at night one night. We were just looking for something to watch, and that's what it was.
2016, Mindhorn.
Mindhorn.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does the audio sound actually out there? That's one of my big concerns.
It sounded good when I checked it.
Are you in the chat?
No, there is no chat.
There is, in fact, a chat, madam.
I don't see a chat. Nobody's chatting. No description has been added.
Oh, so I guess the Couve is working in this workaround. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah, if you want to tune in, which I'm sure there's people that are tuning in right now.
Fantastic. Welcome. Sorry we're late.
All right. So again, we'll just go from the top. I'm Bishop Freeman.
And I'm Starby66.
And you are listening to
FreeStar on
KOUV Radio.
And YouTube. Probably Facebook and all the aggregators out there.
Yeah. Excellent.
Welcome.
Okay. Hopefully it sounds decent. I don't really know what it sounds like, but I'm just going to go with it. So at this point, the YouTube is streaming and the Couve is working.
And the phone line is open.
Yeah.
Do your
thing.
So
if you want to, if you want to chat, there is a chat group going on the YouTube.
It's not letting me have the chat
on the YouTube channel, and we would love to discuss things with you. So please pop on over to that chat. And it's working. I'm getting information in there, so that's good.
Strange biz.
All right. So, and just if you've just joined in, there is live video. We just have it turned off until we get the bugs worked out. And then once the bugs are all worked out, we'll be more interactive with the video. But just bear with us, and we'll be back. But we're still here. Just you're going to be looking at an image. All right. Now, you watch this crazy weird. I saw the weird puppety part of it.
Well, that was just one of the tests.
It's like some
They
freak
had some monster in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the monster tells you your deepest, darkest woe, and if you can handle it, then you've proven worthy.
Oh, wow.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And I love it. I'm a big fan of really terrible. Like, it has to be, there's a certain level of terrible. Like, The Lost Lands or Into the Lost Lands.
Mm-hmm.
That was the unacceptable line. I like to
you
go
just
a
couldn't
lot
take
worse
it?
than that. Like Sharknado 5, I'm in. Rubber, the serial killer tire, I'm in.
You like that,
Yeah.
but this one wasn't working for you?
No, this one that I'm watching?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was
but
great.
Into the Lost Lands was too cheesy.
No, it was weird. It was not cheesy enough to be my super cheese movies. It was just terrible. So it needs to be a little bit worse than that, and kind of like intentionally worse. You'll see.
Okay. We will see.
It was like the pickle movie with Seth Rogen. Loved it. Do you remember
Oh,
that?
yeah, where he was the guy that came over to America and became a pickle farmer.
Yeah, and then he fell in the vat and
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good, though.
yeah.
That was an all right film. So I've been watching this YouTube, really. I should have been watching other stuff, but I got really hooked to this Gnostic series that was shared with me by one of my brothers, and it's really interesting. So they're like 20 minutes a piece, and I have so much stuff going on that I barely have time to sit down for big chunks of time because I have to.
The Seth Rogen pickle movie is The American Pickle.
The American Pickle.
Or An American Pickle, excuse me.
Great movie. If you haven't seen it, look for it. Check it out.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
I watched it because I thought it was going to be utter cheese. Turned out to be excellent.
Yeah, it was. There was a little more to it than what you thought initially. That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Very, very true.
It was like that Christmas movie with Ben Stiller. You thought it was going to be absolute terrible.
And then it was super great.
Reels you right in.
Yeah, then it was super great.
Yep.
Oh, I don't have any description on this.
Interesting.
We're going to have to set that up better. Hey, but at least it's
Yeah.
working. That's the best part.
I'm not getting the Chatteroony.
I think you have to look in the options there and turn it on. I mean, I can go to my phone and look and see if you like.
No, I'll give it the old tickaroo on
You're going to give it the old tick, would you?
the not tickety boo, just the tickaroo.
Oh.
It's much different.
See, boom, chat right off the bat.
Weird. I guess I'm not as cool as you.
Really?
Yes, really. Boom.
All right. So.
Oh,
Hey,
hello.
perfect. Hello. All right. So, back to your strange movie. Do you have any more that you'd like to
No,
share?
I'm only halfway through.
And
I'm
now-
super excited.
What was the name of it again?
Onyx, the something or another.
Well, I was just curious. Onyx, the something or another. It sounds interesting already.
It is. It really is. It's that bad. I just can't remember the name of it. Here, I'll tell you. Tell you all about it.
Well, I wasn't, when I walked in on it, I was like, oh my word.
Onyx the Fortuitous.
The fortuitous.
And the... Hold on. Oh my God, there's a sequel.
So
And the Talisman of Souls.
the context is this, for me, is that I've been watching some really crazy, super deep Gnostic documentaries, for lack of a better.
And I've been watching
Word.
Wicked.
And I walk into the room, and I'm studying like some deep mystical stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then here's like this complete, just. It's so linked to it, right? But like in such a cheesy little way. I was like, what on earth are you watching? Those are the two extremes, right? And this is what is so beautiful about our relationship, right? Yeah, we're both kind of on the same path doing things, right? But I'm over here real serious and,
David Attenborough's teaching you and stuff.
I take it all very seriously, probably too seriously. And she's like, la 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 la. She's like Smurfette over there.
Yeah. I'm doing my crafties. I was bedazzling my phone and watching
Well, it's okay.
Onyx the Fortuitous and
I'm
the
gonna
Talisman of Souls.
watch some deep thing that's totally masked in absolute childish cheese. That's what tripped me out. When I walked out there, I was like, I just started watching this super deep, scary thing that's like, oh, wow, that's just crazy. And then I come out to the living room, and it's like this weird Peter Jackson Sesame Street version of
the same thing you were
the
watching?
same thing that I was watching in the other room. Just one was real serious, and the other one was just absolute ridiculousness.
I'm telling you, there is some absolute gems on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I agree.
If you all are sleeping on checking that out, go and watch some Amazon Prime stuff. There is Simon Pegg does a lot of stuff. Benedict Cumberbatch does a bunch of stuff that is just really great.
Yeah, there are a lot of great Amazon original, and just like people have access to the aggregator real easily, so you can upload your content to it. It's not as difficult as you think. So there's some wild stuff on there.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
Like,
super wild.
So wild and wonderful.
Now, the thing that is just
Oh, The Painter. That was the name of it.
the thing that has got me going this week is the Severance. What the hell? And we can't really spoil it because it's just...
Well, the season finale was this week, and
Right.
it was on Friday, so,
Yeah, so
there's a lot to spoil.
There is a lot to spoil. That is very, 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 very true.
Oh.
But what exactly... what are they trying to say?
I don't know. And maybe that's the whole point of it. Because that's the only reason I keep coming back, is because I don't know what's going on.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get it. But I'm confused as to where it's going. What
Why
exactly...
is this story being told? Was this just to occupy my crazy brain? Because it's
Yeah.
working.
Oh, yeah. It's... I don't know what they're going to do with the next season, but what they've done so far, it's pretty cool. Smart people. Like,
Ben Stiller.
he's writing it or just directing it?
Both. And he
Really?
saved it, yeah.
He's writing some of it?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, here, I'll show you.
That, it probably shouldn't be surprising, but it is. It is a little surprising. I wouldn't, expect that he would care enough to make something so deep. But, there I go again.
There you go.
Excuse me.
And excuse you.
No, excuse me.
No, excuse you.
So if you haven't watched Severance yet, we'll just bring you up to speed. So it's the story of what appears to be a company that will separate your consciousness from your after work life and your at work life. So when you walk into this building to go to work, you're a different personality. You have a different consciousness. Your experiences are different. You have no idea about your other life, but you seem to retain like the base.
Yeah, like your core
mechanics.
knowledge.
Yeah, core knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah.
And only small elements of obscure things.
So basically your memories are gone.
Yeah.
You know how to use things, but like all the people that you know are gone. Yourself, like knowing yourself,
and the
is
experiences
gone.
that you have had personally, are
Yeah.
gone. But the mechanics
Like you still can write, still can
work.
Yeah.
Like you still know math, you still know language, you still understand concepts and have feelings and all of this stuff, right? Which is pretty wild, honestly, because this also plays in a little bit to the Gnostic stuff that I've been reading or watching or just
all of it
contemplating.
you've been consuming.
It has absorbed my life.
Yes.
I'm literally currently wearing the Demiurge on my chest right now on a t-shirt I had my wonderful wife make for me.
Aw, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Because I make stuff.
I'm absorbed with it.
I mostly make messes, but I make other stuff along with the messes.
So, that's what really got me with Severance is the idea that we don't remember, right? Like we don't know where we come from. And it's something that has driven art for thousands of years. Us trying to, experience and then figure out who we are by experiencing things. And that's really what Severance is when you get right down to it. You don't really see it. At first it kind of draws you in with an actual
What about the goats,
emotion.
man?
Yeah, well, it draws you in with emotion, right? Of caring for a character and like trying to figure out what the hell's going on, just like they are, right? But then the further you go, the more you realize it's like, oh, it's a social statement,
Everything's a social statement.
Yeah.
That's why you make art.
Well, I think that maybe, how people can share their idea of social statements. There's just,
That's why it's like an onion. It needs layers.
Well, yeah. Well, you were talking about the Into the Lost Lands
Yeah.
earlier.
Ugh.
So,
Garbage.
and
Cabbage.
now why does that happen? I think about this all the time when we're consuming entertainment. What is it that allows, as a consumer, right?
Yep.
You know what's good. And usually consumption is what leads to the desire to create,
But to each their own. Everybody
Right.
is
So
different.
someone saw a wonderful, beautiful statue when they were a kid, and they were like, oh, that's wonderful. It just attached to them in a way that they wanted to learn how to do that. So they made that a priority in their life to become a sculptor or whatever, a musician, a painter, a poet, whatever, right? But why, And why is it that some people can take that and replicate it well, but there's others that can't, and they just refuse to give up on doing it,
I think it's whatever speaks to you.
Well, like the
That's
crappy movies, how do they get the money and waste all the time?
That, sir, is an excellent question.
When everybody working on it knows what, quality work looks like.
Well, okay, here's the deal, though. It had the potential to be great.
Yeah.
Like, the story was there. I liked the story. It was really great. But...
Okay, so we're amateurs, right? But when we've taken video or whatever, it's pretty obvious when something is like unusable.
Right.
So how do you decide, oh, I'm going to go ahead and like someone who is an astute filmmaker, someone who has made great art, everybody involved with that movie has made great art. They've been involved with it. So how did they let that thing happen?
Well, we don't know who, cut it up.
Well, that's what makes me think it was on purpose. Like, we're not seeing it for what it is. Like, there's this purpose. They've done something on purpose for it to be that way. I have to tell myself that.
Just so that you don't get mad at yourself for wasting those 2 hours?
No, sometimes I don't understand. You will see sometimes movies that I'm only going to beat up this one because it's fresh and new. No. Borderlands was okay.
I've watched Borderlands a couple times after.
Yeah.
If you can get over the fact that they totally gutted the story and changed it.
And that's okay, because they can do that with Borderlands.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Borderlands has such a good story to begin with.
I enjoyed it right off the bat.
Yeah, but if they would have just kept to the actual story, they would have made everybody happy. And the actual story is good.
I put that to bed.
Anyway, what were you going to beat up on?
Just that one movie. I'm not going to point out a bunch of other ones that, had the potential, had great cinematographers, wonderful CG work, great actors, right? Dialogue that could have been okay if given properly, right? But it just isn't put together.
That's what I'm saying. Like, did the
How does that
choreographer mess that up? Was it like those were the best takes they could get?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
Just run with it.
Well, that boggles my mind. It really does.
Me too,
Right.
because Resident Evil is good, and I see what they were kind of trying to do.
Oh, Event Horizon was great.
Epic.
Do you think
was a
that there was
wonderful
just
movie.
more people that had their thumb on it, more producers that were like, look, we're giving you this money, but we're going to tell you. And then when you get to a level of, I don't have anybody that,
Yeah, but
I do what I want, then you just make a piece of crap. I guess that happens. It happens with musicians. There are plenty of great musicians that when they were young and they had the thumb of all these other people that owned them on top of them, it was funneled. Oh, this is awesome. This actually relates back to something else I've been studying this week about.
Finish your thought before you change it.
Well, funnel it down into this perfect art, right?
Yes.
This great thing. Because you know as well as I do, a lot of great songs in their inception weren't that great. A lot of great books in their inception weren't that great until someone heard it or someone read it and someone was like, I get where you're going with this, but this isn't working and this isn't working.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you need that
with great
input.
creativity, you got to have somebody to rein it in. It's like me. If you just tell me to make me a really awesome shirt,
Right.
I can't. Because I will sit and like layer by layer by layer try to take things apart or go too extravagant.
So you need that guidance.
I need somebody to rein it in.
That rule and guide.
Yeah.
Right. So this is
It
where
was like
Yeah.
the wonderful couple that we had over today.
Mm-hmm.
When she was helping me with the garden, I was like, I could do this. And she's like, whoa, pull it back together.
Great.
You know?
That's great. That's awesome. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So currently, I'm reading a particular chapter in a book, and it's about regulating energy.
Right.
So regulating things, it's very important. You actually need things. You need those guardrails, to direct you. You can't just be totally free. And that's a strange thing. And I think it's what causes a lot of the breakdown of communication in society is that we've never really truly found a decent balance of being accepted of obeying boundaries.
Right.
Right.
Well, it's because everybody wants to be the energy and not very many people want to be what's holding it inside.
Yeah.
So it's a battle. And especially today's day and age with TikTok and all the social media, everybody wants to be a star. Nobody wants to be the manager. We had this problem in the bands.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So it's just, it's rebellion in itself that has gone too far.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I think it's important that, you definitely need people to help. You can't just be singular about it,
Right.
And that relates to pretty much everything. So in this particular situation, it applies to Into the Lost World, Our Lost Land. Piece of crap movie.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
But Onyx, Fortuitous, and the Talisman of Souls, I think it's like, here's the thing. When you're trying to be serious and it turns out to be crap, it's crap. But when you're trying to be crappy and it turns out to be gold, like that movie that you like that I'm not a huge fan of because it's just disgusting.
Greasy Strangler?
Yeah, that one.
Greasy Strangler. Let me just go ahead and do you a big favor.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's one of the grossest, yuckiest movies I've ever seen that will live rent-free in my brain forever.
And that is the beauty of that film.
Yeah.
Is that it is completely horrible, but in such a beautiful way. It's, for example, like
Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yeah, yes, it is like Napoleon Dynamite. If
it was just worse.
Well, no, if it was in like the cracky part of town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
The Greasy
in a way,
Strangler.
the Greasy Strangler. Yeah. So sometimes you have to be so out there, but it has to be, a guided energy. You have to direct energy. It can't just be in the air. It's very important that you as a person understand that, and that we as a people understand that.
Right.
But the problem is that trying to find, people take advantage of that. That's the crappy part. Is it's very rare, and I think that's why there's so few people that actually can guide and direct in a way that is beneficial. And that's why you had these, there was only a handful of people who have been in control of pop art that have that ability, that don't, destroy everything around them, but help guide and uplift and, kind of till the direction that society moves in, or, a movement moves in,
Right.
But that's a whole nother thing. But oddly enough, it did relate back to it, just thinking about how it is and that's the crazy part. Making a movie makes you think about, how it is that we break down as a society, how we don't, really work together, and we go through these cycles of trying to revolt against each other so often.
Right.
Yeah. When it seems pretty simple, but like one of the most difficult things to achieve, and it's very rare. So maybe that's why there's only pockets of timeless material made, because there's only small sections of the cycle that allow for it. Everything else is kind of the boiling, I guess.
Yeah.
Could be.
You're not gonna know.
But that movie was not good, and it makes me question everything.
Here's another
happen?
angle.
What?
They could have made it to be a flop, like the producers.
Like they just wanted to burn someone's money?
Or you make more money on something that you've insured.
Yeah. Like what? Oh, there's actually a movie. Oh,
The
producers.
producers.
Yeah. The producers.
There's 2 movies,
Yeah.
and they're both excellent.
Yeah. Totally possible. Sometimes it could just be petty as well, where they were just being, for that, they were being petty. It's like, I was going to make a great movie. We were halfway there, but someone upset somebody, and they're like, I'm going to destroy this movie.
Or they were contractually bound to make another movie for a company that they didn't want to make, and they're just like, great, shoot it in one day. Green screen, here we come.
Well, I would want to have rights as an actor to be like, I want to see, play it back. It's because a lot of it's done digitally.
$1 million is $1 million.
Well, that's true.
Look
Just
at
don't
Nicolas
care.
Cage.
Well, no, you cannot compare a lot of people to Nicolas Cage.
But I've seen quite a few terrible Nicolas Cage movies.
But are any Nicolas Cage movies really terrible?
Yes.
Really?
The Old Way?
Just the
The
way
Western one?
Okay, I'll give you that.
What about Willy's Wonderland?
Loved it.
Okay, it was pretty good, but he
Loved
didn't
it.
say one single word.
He didn't have to. Just his whole. He is an archetype of his own.
He is. I agree. I love Nicolas Cage. I am
Yeah.
not talking shit by any means.
Yeah.
I'm just saying The Old Way was real
That one
bad.
was not good, and he may have just been like, "Oh yeah." Somebody may have talked shit or something. He was like, "All right, fine."
I guess there is a good Nicolas Cage Western movie. Let me look it up.
Ugh.
Someone was, because I've gotten this argument before. The Old Way was so bad.
Yes, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. I will agree with that. You are correct. All right. So what else has been going on, Starby?
Just doing the gardening. It says Butcher's Crossing. Was he in Gunslinger? Or is this just Westerns? And then
Yeah, he wasn't in the Gunslinger. Like not
No,
in,
Gunslingers.
Oh, well, that's possible.
It's coming out. It's 2025.
No.
They announced it 1 week ago. Ooh, how weird is that? But Butcher's Crossing. I guess that one's supposed to be pretty decent. But The Old Way? Not okay.
Nope. It didn't work.
No. And then, yeah,
That was pretty much it.
that was
Yeah.
Severance. There was no Mandy and Georgie. There was no ghosts this week.
Nope.
Daredevil.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I can't comment on Daredevil.
Why?
I'm not there yet.
Me neither, honestly. The other series was just so close to my heart, and I loved the way that was shot. This one's kind of weird angles, and I'm working myself in.
It is being weird.
It is
That
weird.
is true. That is true.
But it's nice to see him in the suit. And I just love Kingpin. Love him.
Yeah, that's why I say I can't really say a lot about it yet, because I'm just not sure. I think that it might be bridging between two places. I'm just waiting for that to finish. I feel like that's what's going on.
Well, we're only 3-4 episodes in.
Yeah. They have to rebuild, and I'm guessing
Is it going to be born again?
literally, literally. Yeah. I have faith in it though. So
I do too.
I think that there is entirely a possibility.
If that's one thing they did right,
Yeah.
bringing back the original characters.
Oh yeah, I think it was very wise, and I hope they do it for the whole universe right there. 'Cause
Yeah.
there was still a lot of story that could be told. I think. I mean.
Yeah.
I love it. So it's good so far. Still, I haven't settled into it. I can admit that. I'm hoping that it lightens up a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
They're going to have to probably introduce some more characters. Because Daredevil comic was always kind of downer anyways.
I didn't read the comic.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't, it was always very serious. I thought anyways,
Right.
He was a serious character.
Well, I really enjoyed the Netflix series.
They did a good job.
They did.
Yeah. I'm not going to comment on it because it's still fresh enough that I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But yeah, they didn't make good choices right off the bat, I don't think. But whatever.
We'll whack 'em.
I guess, madam.
Yeah, you didn't know that was going to happen?
No.
Oh.
I told you I quit going and searching for stuff.
I don't search for stuff. It just gives it to me.
Yeah, my phone gives me...
We know.
Yeah. My phone does not give me that stuff. My phone gives me like survival stuff and weird, crazy, esoteric stuff constantly.
Well, because that's what you're listening to a lot.
Yeah.
And it hears me talking about a bunch of nerdy stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And pop culture. So, buttons on your shoe.
Ooh. Madam.
Was that real loud? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Madam.
I like to blow bubbles in my milk. What can I say?
I know you do. Bless your little helmet. Man. Well, I'm glad we got this working.
Yeah.
And here, let's just take a look and see.
Is your chat working? What's going on here?
Yeah, my chat is working. Is yours?
Yeah, I think the phone lines are working. I don't know. Pop culture. That phone number again is 971-301-5325.
We're going to check the camera again just to see.
Are you?
Yeah. Oh. Look, it sees all your stuff.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's right there.
Madam. So the video does work.
We just put that right
Yeah.
back there.
I just want to get some different lights, if I'm to be totally honest.
It's too bright for you?
It's not that it's too bright, I just don't like the color. I would rather have a different color, honestly. And I think we're going to go with a 2-camera situation. And I'm going to bring
Camera
this.
one,
Yeah.
camera two, camera one.
So I'm going to bring that switcher out.
Oh, are you?
I am. And so that way we can switch between cameras between who's talking. And then we can do a wide angle one every once in a while if we're both talking.
Right.
I think that's what I'm going to do. But we got it working. So.
I think it's cool. You should leave it up.
Oh, you like that, do you?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That candle's real bright, though.
I'll go ahead and...
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, yeah. But it's working.
Yeah.
I messed it up at first, I'll be honest. I think I tried to have it do too many things at once. We got it worked out, though. Is your chat working now?
Yeah, the chat is going nutty.
Oh, Lord.
Stuff's happening.
Let's jump back over there and take a look, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh, the audio goes down when the camera comes on, huh? Weird.
That is weird.
Wow.
Did you just crank it up?
Yeah, so I'll turn the video on for just a minute and then I turn it off. Here. Let me show you real quick. Cuz I also want to see what's going on with the live video. All right, let's see. Maybe this will help make the video or the audio a little louder on the camera. So I'm going to go back in the chat now. We'll leave this on for a while.
Okay.
And see what everybody says. All right. So the camera is on. And you tell me, is the audio lower? Or did I cure that? I may have had it turned down a bit. It's totally possible. What's on your mind?
Hair.
Wow. Hair.
Yeah.
What about the hair?
Well, it's the next level above my mind.
Oh, we didn't talk about the greasy strangler enough, huh?
Oh, who's asking? Who's
Hey,
asking?
you know what this radio show could use?
A little more grease.
Grease. Yeah.
That movie was terrible. Like, I couldn't even watch it.
Well, I can't even quote it because I like to be clean. So I really can't even say a
Porto.
lot of the Porto. I like Porto. What are you saying? Porto. I think he's saying potato. I like Porto.
Porto.
I like ridges. Yeah. If you haven't seen The Greasy Strangler.
It's
like,
gross.
Seriously. It is gross. It is, but in such a wonderful way. It's gross in all the right ways. I mean, there is nudity.
There's some images that I cannot scrub. Like, I've tried to scrub them from my mind.
Why would you want to?
Because it's so bad. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. We should do well, no, I couldn't do that. The Greasy Strangler is wonderfully horrible. I mean, yeah, you'll laugh. It's so ridiculous. But at the same time, if you don't like nudity or you can't laugh at nudity, you're probably not going to laugh at this movie. But
It's so bad.
yeah, it's like cringe. It's super cringe.
And let's be clear, I like bad movies.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
Except for Into the Lost Land. She
Well,
didn't like that one.
that's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
I do like movies like Sharknado and Leprechaun and, just the worst. Rubber.
I love The Greasy Strangler.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
I mean, I love it, but at the same time, I don't love it just because it was so gross. It
Yeah.
was.
It's pretty gross, but it's worth it.
It's like vomit in your mouth gross.
It's not that gross.
It is gross.
It's like a real bad, stinking fart smell in a room that you weren't in when it was released, and it didn't come from you.
Like most elevators, you mean?
No.
Most elevators in Portland, you mean?
Like most elevators in New York that go down into the subway.
Oh, the subway. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was real bad.
Yeah.
Like, I can taste that. And whenever you think about that memory, I can taste it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's...
Well, when I was a kid in downtown Dallas, there was... when I was younger in Texas, and that's a throwback. When I was a kid in Dallas, there were places downtown that would smell like that. Like near the bus station, usually. Yeah.
Not in Central Oregon. Not
Oof.
anywhere did it ever smell like that.
When I am not surprised by that. See, that's a good thing about Central Oregon, and no offense.
It did it again.
No offense. Well, not really, anyways. They're just, it's good and clean over there, but man, there's some, I can't even explain it. Like,
A vortex of its own weird reality.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, people don't believe me when I tell them things. I'm
There's
like,
some
"No,
juju out
really?
there. Yeah, there's something
That's
going
how
on.
it goes out there. It's gotten a lot better since California's moved in. I bet nobody ever has uttered that
Well,
sentence
I
before.
think that,
but it's changed.
yeah, no, I think that eventually, right, that whatever the spirit is out there will supersede even them, and
Well,
they'll just fall into it.
It's because the older people that ran the area are now of the age where they are not in the working force anymore. Like most of them are retired and
Yeah.
tipping that direction. So the younger crop of people have now come in. So it's
Okay.
starting to balance out.
I guess we should go and investigate and see what they're teaching the children, and then also go and see.
Oh, no, that's bad. You don't
Yeah.
even want to go there.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what they were doing already.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's gotten any better.
Oh, no, it's probably gotten way worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Big gaps of history left out.
Yeah. Or I don't know firsthand. I only know as you have told me. So.
Well, sir, that's a deep subject to get into because it's just the education system altogether. Like, driver's ed is not a required course in Oregon anymore. And neither is like personal finance and, just common things that you should be teaching.
Big Ronnie's dog is fully dunked. Oh, yes. I wished I could talk more about the Greasy Strangler, but it's filthy. And so a lot of the great lines I really don't want to say because it's nasty mouth. Now, if we weren't on YouTube Live and I didn't think that there is potential that it was an earshot with children, I would absolutely let them rip. But I don't want to upset anybody.
No.
Yeah. But go watch Greasy Strangler when your kids are asleep.
Or not in the house.
Or not
at
in the
all.
house at all. Yeah, yeah. Because I definitely snuck in and watched some movies that my parents probably
Yeah.
didn't want me watching.
Right?
Peeking around the corner. It's
Oh,
like, what is it?
This one will scar you. Could you imagine consuming that as a child?
Greasy Strangler?
Yeah.
If I'm to be honest with you, I probably lived it. As
I
a
know,
child.
but
Yeah.
that
There's
was
there's
a
difference-
messed up time.
Yeah. That is true. This is the golden age, people.
Yes.
Anything was possible. Oh, Lordy. I had a good time anyways.
Yeah.
Did it scar me and do I regret a lot of it? Absolutely. Would I do it again? Absolutely.
Oh.
I would. Wouldn't change a thing.
Nope, because now we're here. Ta-da.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Lord. Yes, but Portland does smell like that now. There is a lot of peep and poop smell going on in Portland,
Yeah.
sadly.
Well, downtown Salem smells like that.
Yeah.
By the mall. Woof. Goodness gracious.
So the truth is that much like these smells, and how they bring up memories, the Greasy Strangler will also sneak into your psyche and sink way down in there. You don't necessarily want to see what's going on, but once you start, you can't stop.
It's so bad.
And then you will
Scrub your
think about it.
eyes.
And then sometimes you'll be somewhere and you'll see something or somebody and you'll think to yourself,
Borto.
yes, you will think, am I doing it right, Janet? I don't know if I'm doing it right.
Oh, so bad.
Or, other things that I can't even say. But
Yep.
yeah, give it a shot. It's a great flick. Wonderful flick.
But it was shot that way. You know what I mean? That's why.
Yeah. Is it on Amazon Prime?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Because we watched it somewhere before we bought it. But it is on my server now. I can pull that up immediately. Yeah. Although I haven't.
I will tell you right now.
Yes.
It is on Amazon Prime. It is on Freevee. Both of them, which means it's probably on Pluto.
Yeah, possibly. Let's check it out.
Yep.
Looks like you can watch it for free. You don't even have to pay anything.
Nope. Ta-da.
Now that's greasy. All right. What is here's another movie that you should or should not watch. Gummo. If you haven't seen Gummo,
I haven't, and I'm on the fence whether to watch it because
it is horrifying.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if I want to watch it.
But as far as film, like seeing something that's original and done in a way that is just like extremely authentic, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful movie. like the authenticity of it is just, you couldn't create this. It had to just be itself, and the guy went to it with a specific thought in mind,
Right.
and then just let it be that. And that's, sometimes that works out great, sometimes it doesn't work out at all. But I think it takes a great artistic group, not just a director, but like the cinematographer has to be the right guy, the editor has to be the right guy, people that are helping out to set up the sets. And in this particular movie, he just used reality, which I think gives it that authenticity.
Right.
He used actual people, and also used real lived in environments to deliver a message, which is absolutely horrifying. I want to preface with that immediately, is that Gummo is a horrifying film, and you will go away with it with a bad feeling, because it is disgusting, to think that this...
See, and that's why I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, that this is, an actual real world situation. And because it is, I mean, I definitely remember being in homes similar with people that were similar in my youth, so maybe that's why it affected me.
All
that
I know
way.
is that as a young person, I was told by a very trustworthy friend that it was a terrible movie, one of the worst they'd ever seen. And
It'll harm you.
Yeah.
There are definitely powerful emotional statements or things that go on in it that are just absolutely disturbing. And so maybe because I've already seen it and lived it and processed
well,
it.
and you said it's kind of like the Wonderful Wild Whites of West Virginia.
In a way, yeah. In a way, in a big way, actually. It's very much like that. And what's the other one?
Kids.
No. The documentary about the inbred family
Whoa.
that the guy would take advantage of. They made a documentary about it, and so people got pissed off saying that he was exploiting them. But it was an inbred family in the South.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember what their names were, but yeah, it was very much like that. So that's what makes me think that the authentic, watching these things, you realize how authentic Gummo is. And so when I first saw Gummo, it was hurtful. I won't lie. I watched and I was like, oh my God. I was so removed from having been in a particular lifestyle, right? Because I had grown up. But it reminded me of being, in poor areas in the South, and seeing people that actually truly lived that way. And then having the realization that, okay, I was exposed to it because, that was like my neighbor. So what does that mean? Does that mean that, I was living near there, so I was equally as destitute and poor? And that's why I've had firsthand experience with a lot of it and seeing that, But luckily, through tenacity of, my parents, I guess, or myself, being removed from it and putting myself in a different position, and kind of forgetting about it until all of a sudden you're like, boom, hey, remember this,
Right.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people that watched that movie and felt that way. And then I'm sure there's a lot of people that watched it and were like, oh my God, does this really happen? And yes, it does. Very authentic in some aspects. Like,
You ever been to Prineville?
no, but I can only imagine. And I did have preconceptions based off of things that were told to me before I ever even lived in this state.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's true.
Seriously.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Whew.
Yeah. So, two extremes. Beautifully done movies that are completely off the wall. The Greasy Strangler and Gummo. Have the potential to be horrible, but ended up being brilliant, right?
Right.
Whereas something that had all the potential, just, and had all these very mainstream, commercially driven elements to it, and turns out to be a piece of crap. Now, how does that happen? Why does that happen? Is it just because when freedom is, left to, when people are given ultimate freedom, right?
I mean, there's several ways it could have gone. We'll never know, really. Was it a tax write-off? Was it a promise to a studio? Was it just a...
I think we should get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to write a letter to my congressman.
There you go. There you go. Get the internet sleuths on it. They're crafty out there.
They
It's
are.
like the Don't F with Cats. They will get to the bottom of it.
I bet you if we went and looked, there's probably somebody that feels the same way. And they're like, why?
Or
And
give
the
it
answers are there.
give it 6 months and someone will write a tell-all, or, you know,
Yeah,
be like,
this
I
is
worked
why-
on the set.
This is why
Let
the
me tell
movie
you.
sucked.
Yeah.
Right. It's totally possible.
It is.
I think it is.
And then some people just go crazy. Like, look at Tim Burton. What happened in Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice. Off the rails.
Yeah. You know, and I think that, like kids, you mentioned kids. The chat has also mentioned kids. That was also another rough one. But
I know a kid that was in that.
I'm glad that, who was literally a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that having those movies in the historical record is important because they do represent a bit of the reality of their times. A little bit. I mean, it seems so crazy and wild, but life at times can be that obscure and surreal. You know, more so than anything you can get on film, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd have tons of movies like that.
Well, I was gonna say, wasn't that the whole point of Lord of the Flies? It just is real.
The book?
Yeah. Like the basics of it.
Oh,
That-
yeah.
People at their base level will just, this is what people.
Yeah. Well, I think it gets back to the archetypes, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. When things get boiled down or distilled, you know, they'll go back to their base elements. So if all of the luxuries of
So 12 or 13.
archetypes,
Hmm.
well, depends on how you're counting them.
Ooh.
Yeah, because each one has a positive and a negative, right?
Yeah, but it's just like months, 12 or 13.
Well, personally, I think that 13 is smarter, but we have to live within 12. Now, that's how we live.
Now,
Yeah. That may change. Who knows?
I say we change it.
Yeah.
I'm down for structure.
Yeah, they can barely agree on,
Time change.
and you're talking about
In the year 2525.
just think about what had to happen for it to happen the last time.
The time change?
Yeah, when they changed
Oh, when they decided to, yeah.
all of,
Yeah.
our history, period. Yeah. Are you prepared to go to court, ma'am?
I am.
Yeah.
I was promised zombies with my apocalypse.
Oh.
Thank you.
That's a whole nother subject.
I got them.
Subjects?
Yeah.
See, you totally almost led me into that one, and you got me to be dirty on the radio. It didn't work.
What?
You know exactly what I'm
That
talking
was
about,
not my
man.
intention, sir. I believe you're projecting.
Yeah.
Is that
No.
gaslighting? Is that gaslighting?
No, that's gaslighting right there. The tables have turned.
Wicked.
All right. Got anything else?
Yes.
What you got?
Nope, I was just joking. I
So-
don't know.
I wanted to go see Novocaine.
Yeah.
We didn't get around to it.
No.
Hopefully it's still in theaters next week. Had a busy week.
2 busy weeks, really.
And
Being
this weekend
sick.
coming up actually is going to be busy as well.
Yep.
Lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff.
Are there movies coming out this week? Let's see what's coming out this week.
Well, I know I wanted to see Novocaine, and I kind of wanted to go see that train wreck Snow White.
No,
really did.
we are not going to see that.
I wanted to go see
Don't
that.
even get me razzed up about it. I will not go see it. I am done with Disney live actions. After Beauty and the Beast, I just can't.
All right.
I can't. They changed the songs. Well, and they completely rewrote Snow White. So don't. There's no Prince.
Moving on. What else is coming out?
Who's prettier than Gal Gadot? No one. Maybe Margot Robbie. But
Wow.
I know.
That's like apples and oranges.
Yeah, but seriously, that's the whole premise of Snow White. Like one of the very first Disney movies ever. In fact, I think it was the first Disney movie ever. Fantasia, Snow White.
like full feature film, I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
1931 or 37? 37.
Yeah, 37, I think.
Mm-hmm. Let's find out.
37 or
What?
39. It might have been 1934.
Can we please just leave the songs alone?
Yeah, but sometimes a new generation wants something that belongs to them. I'm not saying that that's what's occurred
Make
here.
your own.
If they only had someone that could help them do that and they weren't just left to their own. Guidance is important. You need
It was published in 1812.
the hammer and the rule. It's important. Very important.
Why won't you tell me the date?
All of the great things, all of them, had a little bit of guidance. I can't think of any artist that was completely just, it was only their input.
1937. Boom.
Was 37.
Yep.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all night.
Yeah. So communication is important. I think this goes back to the Division Bell cover for Pink Floyd, in the cover of the Norbert Weiner book, where it's got the two faces, facing each other with information going back and forth.
Like David Bowie and Nicolas Cage?
Well, that's a whole different topic. I mean, you could have done that.
Oh, that's great.
That would have been all right.
Maybe we'll do that.
We have portraits, and they're both dressed up like generals, but like, what, Renaissance era, would you say? Yeah. But Nicolas Cage is facing one direction and David Bowie's facing the other. So we could put them next to each other and it would be like they were facing each other. That wouldn't be so bad. We're going to have to look into that.
Yes.
Then we'll share.
Yes. Part of the after we paint and redecorate.
But anyways, communication is necessary. You can't just do something completely alone. You need feedback.
Right.
You need resistance.
Yes.
You need
someone to rein it in.
Yeah. You definitely need to harness energy and direct it. You can't just let it go free and go everywhere all at once.
No. That's bad news bears, honestly.
It is.
I'm learning that gardening.
Yeah. Pick something.
I have.
Focus.
It's a journey, though. Because, everybody wants to be planted at different times. Some people can go out. Some people have to stay in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Some people can't be planted next to others.
No.
Like there's rules.
There are rules.
Yeah.
You have to pay attention to those rules.
Some of them like to be just spread on the top. Some like to be buried.
Yeah.
Some like more water than others.
It's a myriad of potential, isn't it?
It really is. There's a lot of information.
There is.
I wish I would have taken a class in school about it. I mean, I grew stuff. I've grown gardens before. Not a lot, like I'm trying to do right now. So we're going to see what happens.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
She has grown gardens, people.
I have.
Yeah. We're just going to leave it there. Just not fruit, right?
Oh, hanging. No.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yes, I've grown fruit.
Okay.
Kind of. Quinces. You know what a quince is?
I don't.
It's like a pear, but smaller.
Oh, a little pear.
Yeah, they're really sour, but they're good.
And they're called quinces.
Quince.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I grew multiple of them on a bush.
Well, that is wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, we've done it. We did our hour.
One whole solid hour.
Yeah. One whole solid hour.
Full of twists and turns.
Twists and turns. And we'll do it again next week.
We will.
I think I've got it figured out. And we're going to try to get to the movies and have something to talk about what's in the theater currently.
Yeah, I want to watch that new Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt movie too.
And what streaming service was that on?
Netflix, I do believe.
So I think we're going to go see Novocaine, and I do want to see the Looney Tunes movie. I really do. And there was something else coming out too. You don't remember?
Black Bag.
No, that's going to be a streamer.
That is.
Yeah.
Ash, Last Breath. Oh, that's what's in the theater now. Let's see. Coming soon. Minecraft.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to see that.
That's on the 3rd. Drop looked pretty good. Oh, Death of a Unicorn. The 27th. Oh, is it out? What is today?
Today is the 23rd.
Oh, okay. So this weekend.
Okay.
And we might have to go to the Yucky Theater.
To go see a film.
Yeah, it's A24. It's the Death of a Unicorn.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely probably do that. That one looks like it was worth suffering.
Or we could go see it when we're out and about.
Oh yeah, we can go try it at another theater.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I like that idea. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on the static image. We'd like to thank you guys for listening in. We really appreciate it.
Putting up with our madness.
Yes. We enjoy chatting with you.
Yes.
And since we've got it worked out a little better now, I think it'll be quicker and easier, and we'll be able to advertise and remind everybody.
Yeah, because, we were working on this for a good 2 hours before we went live.
Yeah, trying to get it all linked up properly.
Yeah.
But it's done now.
Yep.
So.
Now we know the magic.
Yes, we do. Well, won't you say goodnight, Starby?
Good night, Starby.
Thanks for listening.
See you next week.